things escalate well beyond your
things escalate.
wildest,
Yeah.
wildest,
That's one thing too. Yeah. Right.
expectation. What's that mean for you personally?
Personally, it means that it's finally that. I mean, it's always going to get back to that recognition of, hey, we did it, we made it. I've raised a family, I've got a home, all of these things kind of connected to it. But for specifics, I don't want to do the same old. Yeah, I get to spend more time with my family, but
You told me the answer a while back. Let's see. Just seeing if you remember.
We were talking about it the other day.
I would like to get involved in the more so with the community. We're building a staple here for the community, especially Downingtown. I mean, we were born and raised that way. I want to see it become the best town for my kids to be raised in, and whatever that may mean. I don't know. School board could be in the chamber for the businesses.
President of the United States of America.
I don't want that job.
I don't want that job.
He's on the bar for way too long.
I don't want that one. But it's being a staple in the community that way, and not so. I don't know if that means personally or with just Wolf Home Pros, but I finally had that realization as these like systems started to click and these things were working. That Wolf Home Pros and I are close. We're not directly linked anymore. It is a tool for me to get to that next level.
Right. So you can interview people that would say, if I win $1 million, I'm going to go, or $10 million now. It's not $1 million. But I'd go buy a house in the beach in Malibu.
Sure.
Well, if you hand this man $10 million, he's going to put it right into Downingtown and build up his own town.
Yeah.
Really is what you're saying. And people need to know that.
Yeah, you're right. It needs to be brought, because I think that's what it all stems down to, is the local community, or stems out from, is the local community. It's all based in that right there, making sure it's the best of the best with the schools, best of the best with the activities, the little leagues, all these things. Like, I want to know that I can put my son or my daughter, shout out Theo and Winter, love you both, that I can put them into that and not have to think twice.
Right.
Whether it's the little league soccer up the street at United Sports Center, just knowing that we have the best available for them, schools, all of it. That's my point, because there are so many other. I mean, that's the community wants that. Right. Yes, we're face down in the screens, but our neighbors are right here, and it's all coming back to that. Those are the people you need to rely on.
So that ideology is what Dan brings to Free Trade, our networking group, is that how do you not root for someone like that? How do you not go out of your way to do business with him, knowing what his goal is? That's the whole point.
So, maybe the future of Downingtown, right? This is what we're talking about. Do you know a little bit about the history and the past and the traditions of Downingtown?
I'm sure you can enlighten us.
So,
I'm going to take a piece of pie.
I'm going
to sit back and enjoy.
Well, I believe that these two gentlemen are part of a 90-year-old tradition that was just celebrated last week.
Yeah, over.
You don't know about this?
Is it the underpants on the head?
No. I think that might be part of it towards the end.
Yeah.
It's,
the amphibious order in Downingtown there at St. Anthony's Lodge.
Wait till you mention this.
Buckle up, folks.
Yeah, just this past Thursday, we had our, I think that was the 103rd event. I got to look at the ticket.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's over 100 years now running. Basically, it's St. Anthony's Lodge there, the Italian club. It's just a gathering for local business leaders. I mean, not just local business leaders. I shouldn't just say that. It's everyone in the community. 1,100 people getting together, eating frog legs,
Just a
talking,
frog leg party.
talking
That's all
shop.
it is.
Yeah, it's a big frog leg party. It's the
That's all
frog
it is.
leg.
That's
But
No frogs were harmed in this podcast.
not in this
not
one.
in this podcast, but
Yeah,
last
yeah.
Thursday.
Yeah. That's one of the biggest intakes of frog legs there on the East Coast. Or,
Are
sorry,
they locally
import.
sourced?
No,
They
no,
were
no.
for a while. But
We had some
I
coming
think
from
there's
China.
too many now.
Africa was a big spot. But either way, the point of this was that our great-grandfather, Antilio Sciaretta, along with a couple other members during the Great Depression there in the neighborhood in Johnstown, look, times were tough. So they got together and gigged for frogs in the Brandywine, fed their families that way. And it just evolved into this whole community neighborhood party. Eventually, this event with St. Anthony's Lodge. We grew up across the street from it on Church Street.
Not an
242.
easy ticket to get, by the way.
No,
I would think
No,
it's
it is.
very, very exclusive.
I was in the cigar lounge the other day, and the guy's like, I was there. I got to go on my buddy's grandfather's ticket because he's sick, but
Yeah.
he can't attend. But once he dies, they got to give the ticket back. And I don't know if I'll be able to
So-
continue to go. Bro, this is like,
Yeah,
you know what it reminds me of, and you'll know this, Trollstice.
yeah. These are
for
the
those who
events.
don't know,
That's from Trolls.
Yep.
They
100%.
hunt the trolls once a year.
Yeah.
To be
Basically,
happy.
Basically, the frogs do not sing and dance the same way, but
oh, I'm
Come
sure
on,
there had to have been a set of dances at some point.
Yeah,
But
later in
that's-
the night.
I talked about it too. That's the kind of setting and the kind of group in a community that's got some real teeth to get there.
History. I mean,
And history
Yeah.
behind it.
100 years. That's
You're not tied up with this red tape and this bureaucracy. This is where, you're hearing it from the people. Hey, I had this happen to me. This was a real pain in the ass. And then all of a sudden somebody saying, hey, I know the guy that works there. Let me talk to him. Like, this is what that's all back. That's that old town feel. And Downingtown has definitely got the age to back that here.
I've never stayed any place long enough. I mean, my family, we've been in the States for a long time, but like no one's ever, that's incredible to be dug into a place like that.
Yeah.
And then be able to have the stage set for you and then continue to set the stage for generations to come.
It's legacy. It's legacy. It's the whole point. It's the whole point. So
speaking of legacy, in our networking group, I'm with my friend Tom here a lot. And
We just spent a lot of time
We do.
together.
I'd have to say, in my sleep, I find myself saying, put things up, put things down since 2020. Tell us just a quick, we never talk about you. We never talk about what you do. Your logo's all over everything, so obviously you're in charge here. And you just give.
Barely in
The
charge,
giving
man.
tree.
Yeah, we just say yes. That's all. We just want to say yes to stuff. So, I run a residential moving company. Came out of, I guess 10 years ago I was doing it, some side weekend work, and I started moving some furniture. I absolutely hate it. I wasn't very good at it. Friends of mine are like, "Why do you continue to do it?" And I'm like, "Because I can make more money on the weekend than I can during the week at the job that I was at." And I'm like, "Why don't you quit and do this?" I'm like, "Because I really do hate it." From there, I helped a couple of buddies like with some logistical stuff, and I went back into sales, man. And that's my background. I'm a salesman by trade. I come by it pretty honest. I come from a long line of entrepreneurs and salespeople. And out of that, some things changed industry wide as there was some change in internal markets, and I wanted to get involved in something that was automated. I walked away from a good 6-figure job because you were joking earlier. There's no freedom in owning your own business. There's a lot of time that's taken, but I had a couple kids, and it's easier for me to explain to my kids that I need 5 minutes to take a phone call than be working nights and weekends and holidays, right?
Yep.
So there is a certain amount of freedom that evolves out of that, and that's what it comes down to. And moving is a vehicle, right? It's the vehicle for us to bring money into our household. That's what it is. And I had this conversation a couple times earlier today at an event that we were at, and really what's happened is over the past 2 years, I've started running a networking company, and moving is the vehicle. That's it. It's just a vehicle, right? And for me, the thing that made moving palatable as a business to run was that there was service involved in it. And I think that's where my heart is first, right? I think it is to kind of give and to give back. It's always kind of been that way for me, I think. I don't know why. I guess it's just the way that I'm programmed. So having this has given me an opportunity to build interpersonal relationships and connect people, right? And my hope through all of it is if I can connect you with somebody that you really need, then maybe hopefully one day you'll think about me. And with that attitude, it has evolved into something where my logo gets to be put out there, right?
Sure.
And we're trusted, right? And that's another big part of it, man. We're trusted, there's bad taste in people's mouth about contractors. You talk to people about their moving experiences. I mean, it is polarizing, and much like Pat, what you were talking about with the internet. You know what I mean? Like with the moving. So what I do is forgettable. If we execute a perfect move, it is 100% forgettable. No one's going to remember it. You moved? Yeah, we had some guys out here. They did a good job. Who was it? I couldn't tell you.
They were strong.
Yeah, they were in, they were out. It was no big deal. And that's what we strive for. We want to have those perfect things. And as a result of that, we found that the people that we build relationships with that are the ones that are going out on the line and referring us, they are having the conversations, right? So like the end consumer doesn't want to have the conversation about the thing that they used, but the people that are the source to connect them, they're willing to have those conversations. And that's what we found. And, we do get to spend a lot of time together, man. Our daughters the other day, man, like, they were like, it was literally like one of those stepbrother moments. They turned and looked at each other. They became best friends, just like that. Pat's gotten me into a couple of hobbies. He's got me on these gateway. He's got me on some gateway drugs here.
Don't get into watches. Tell people do not get into watches.
As with many things, it escalated quickly. You know what I mean? He was like, "Yo, I've got a watch I think will fit your wrist." And now I have 13.
You know what that's called? A good start.
So it's what we do is we offer a service, man, and we offer trust in the community, and I think that's what we're shooting for.
Yeah.
So thank you for making me talk about myself, which is always
rare.
Uncomfortable. Yeah, right. It's not really my thing.
Right.
I wanna bring something
Now other
up.
people are going to talk about me, which is definitely not my thing.
I want to bring something up, especially with Phil here, because you guys helped extract that idea of what 5 years looks like for me just by talking about it. You had mentioned YouTube in that time, but I just want to put out there, Phil's also a mystery within the family sometimes. We'll see him at work and all that. My parents will ask, "Hey, have you talked
Just to
Phil?"
qualify, this is an older brother clarifying what the younger brother will be doing.
But I've got to bring this part up because it amazes me every time. This is the guy right here that you won't hear from for like 2 weekends in a row. All of a sudden see him at an event and he's bringing pretzels, right? And you're like, what the hell's with the pretzels? And he's like, I wanted an Annie Ann's pretzel real bad, and they weren't open, or the spot down for me closed. So I figured out how to make them. Spent all of his free time working on that recipe, perfecting it. And I've seen him do it time and time again. So I've always said that freedom and time with you not having to be tied up on a job site or training those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you have
been like a creative,
whether you have a clear picture of it or not right now, something is going to emerge from that. All it takes is the time. I mean, 3D printers ordered, making your own tool organizing kit that you set off to be patented and make a prototype in China. Like all of these little things. I don't know. I don't want that to go under. It's just, it could be some video.
I think the ability to adapt is my 5-year plan.
Yeah.
I think really
You always dodge this with that. I mean, so like that's cute, brother. You're gonna dodge it with you have to adapt, and if you know where you're gonna be in 5 years, it doesn't matter because it's gonna change. It's cute, bro. But like realistically, like what dig in, man. It's all right.
theory, if you could. How about
So in theory, I feel like the 5-year plan would be more of the same plus, there'll be plus this or plus another thing. I think that I really love to create things.
Yeah.
I hate the word entrepreneur, but I think it's probably what, mogul doesn't go over that well. Or Baron.
I love Barry. Let's bring that one back.
But I think that the funniest I heard was a mom explaining what her 30-some-year-old unemployed son was doing when he lived in his basement. Well, he's a non-practicing entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur. We talked about that in the first episode. Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't there for
So-
that one. Like a window shopping entrepreneur.
So honestly, I don't know. I'm tired of being wrong. You know, you go through these business seminars from the when you're in your 20s about you need your 5-year plan, your 10-year plan, your 15-year plan.
yeah.
You need to hit different milestones, and it never works out that way.
Sure.
And if it does, you probably, I mean, ideas you had 10 years ago, how would they hold water today?
Yeah.
They'd probably be like, that's pretty stupid from what
Yeah.
I've learned now.
Mhm.
So you really want to stick to that plan? No. You want to be able to grow amongst in your trade and bring it to where you want it to be. But the road's not clear, obviously.
Yeah.
Nobody could have predicted pandemics with the
No.
emergence of how the internet is now, the AI is now taking over.
Sure.
Who knows where we'll be in 5 years if we're even be doing the same things. I might be moving, you might be doing IT, and
I've already been told you I'm doing IT. You already told me.
we always get back to that same topic of like
Right.
what makes a stellar standout entrepreneur. Is that it? Adaptation?
I think
Like,
it's the idea that you can look at a scenario and find a way to make $1 million out of it. I knew someone long ago that was a tailor, but he wasn't a tailor. He designed uniforms for the military
Okay.
from the late 60s. So very wealthy gentleman, older guy though. And he said, with all I've learned now, I could very easily go out and make $1 million in a business from startup. And in my 20s, I'm thinking,
Yeah.
just tell me.
Whisper the secret.
And you know what? It's not something you can tell. It's the experience you get
that's
that
the
gives you that insight to say, that's a winner, that's not a winner. You definitely want to keep doing this, or you should take that out.
So yeah, let's be clear. Experience means failure.
Right.
yes,
More
yeah.
so than success. Right. I mean,
100%.
I learned way more from failure than I do from success.
Never going to do that again.
I was talking about. I got a guy that I brought up that's doing operations inside of the organization, and he's like, "Well, if we're going to implement this rule, then there has to be a consequence for the guys." And I'm like, "Bro, show me where I'm losing money, and I'll fix it."